with this, who will check black women, who will check black women, all things need to be checked. All things. Men need to be checked. Women need to be checked. Children need to be checked. Systems need to be checked. Everything needs to have a check. And I go into this in my book, Radical Ways of Ancient Days. I have a whole chapter in which I deal with checks and balances. It really focuses on brothers and sisters and how there's a lack of checks and balances going on, and the problems that it's causing. And it also speaks about some solutions with regards to that in this particular chapter. But I'm speaking about this again, and just a few days ago I was reminded as to why this is an important topic, because I was flipping through the channels, turning to PBS, and I heard someone say, "Shut up, you just shut up." And I'm like, what is that? Flip back, and I see it's an older black woman telling Tommy Davidson to shut up. Now, I mean, did you see this? This was on Dr. Phil's show. But here we have an older woman, someone in my mother's age group, really. That's what she looked like. Someone who's upper 50s, early to mid 60s, telling a grown man, a brother, to shut up on national TV. And once again, we have a situation where a sister is disrespecting a brother for all the world to see. For all the young girls, all the young women to see. Meemaw disrespecting a brother on national TV. And what was even more disturbing about this whole situation was the fact that nobody checked her. Nobody checked her. Nobody said, excuse me, ma'am, I know that you're very passionate about what you feel, but we can't have that kind of disrespect here. We need to speak respectfully to people, and I understand that you may be very angry, but we cannot just dismiss respect. We cannot just overlook decorum when we're dealing with people just because we happen to be very passionate about our viewpoints. And so once again, I'm asking the question of who will check the black woman? Who is checking sisters? And my answer to this is really, nobody's really checking sisters. Nobody's checking sisters. So at this point, I feel like it's a call on those of us who have a consciousness and understand about who we are and who we were as a people, the type of order and structure that we've had in our communities at one point in time and in our environments, the type of lifestyle that we had once created, as I speak about in my book, trying to build upon what was once there, what once existed in our communities here and across the ocean, trying to build on that. Those of us who have that kind of a mindset and understand, it's time for us to speak up. Time for us to speak up. Because at one point in time I'll be like, well, that's an elder, and maybe not, maybe you shouldn't say anything. But things have gotten to such a point now where we see even our elders, I don't want to say even our elders, but even some of the older sisters are doing things that are so disrespectful to our brothers, doing things that are so out of line with culture. We are so out of line with some kind of culture and order, and things are just in disarray and chaos. That's what my book speaks about. It speaks about bringing things back to order, bringing things back to the order and the balance and the type of world that we once were able to create, the types of things that we were able to do when we had things in balance, when we were checking each other, when we had things and we were using our checks and balances. That's what's needed. That's what's needed. You don't have order without those things. No, this is not acceptable. And see, like, but I'm gonna tell you, because my king, he's a Haru type. So she put her hand in his face and he put his hand in front of hers and said, talk to the bigger hand. Check yourself, sister. And then later on they had a conversation about it, and her sister apologized for her belligerence. But see, here and now, that's part of the issue right there. Because where are the Harus? There aren't enough of them around, and see, like, he has some things going for him in that he's very articulate. So he can speak and he could check a sister. He's able to check somebody without having to put their hands on them. But, I've heard brothers speak about checking sisters, and a lot of times it comes with a level of violence. And I'm saying, no, I don't promote that. I don't support that. You can check a sister without having to get violent with her. You can do that. But a lot of brothers will stand to the side of it and not checking sisters because they know. Some brothers haven't developed the ability to say it, to the ability to say certain things to sisters that need to be said, that'll be sharp and pungent and cut that foolishness, just cut to the bottom of it. Like I hear Phil, he gets into a lot of things, that brother Phil, he gets into a lot of things with the sisters, and that's because the brother just comes sharp with it, and he comes clear with it. And, it's the verbal aspect that has to be mastered, that has to check. Because if you don't go to the verbal, you start going to the, hitting somebody upside the head. And most brothers aren't going to deal with that because they know that they will be the ones taken out. You could be in the household and she could beat you upside the head with every bit of furniture up in the household. But you brothers will be the one taken out of there. And I've heard comedians speak about that. It's true. The brother will be the one taken out of there. Because, brothers are being checked all the time. Brothers are being checked by the system and everybody and anything else. And so a lot of brothers don't want to deal with that. So they just say, I'm going to step away. I'm not going to say anything, whatever else. And some sisters have used that to their advantage, And so they want to get all loud. What? Hit me there. What? And I've seen things like that where sisters get real bold. And I'm thinking like, sisters, don't you know this brother could just swing one time and you'll be out? But yet you could feel like you're so big and bad because you got the law behind you. Is this where we are now as a people? This is what it's come to. That's your defense against your brothers. You want to act like a warrior queen. Who you fighting against? Brothers? Our brothers? That's who you fighting against? Does that make you a warrior queen because you standing up against our brothers? Come on, that's not what our sisters were doing. Those were not the warriors. You know what I'm saying? That's something different. That has nothing to do with our culture and who we are as a people. We need to get it checked. It needs to be checked. So sisters, if you have consciousness and you understand about our culture and who we are as a people, you step up and stand for that justice thing. And that's something I speak about all throughout the book. I talk about that in marriage. I talk about that in terms of the family. I talk about that in terms of these checks and balances. It needs to be balanced out. We need to get these homes and these families and our communities back in order because it is not. It is in chaos for real. So I have to say this, and people have asked me about my perspective, where I'm coming from. I just say, I stand with great mothers who stood before me, who stood prior to me, and the great goddess, the first goddess or Set, better known as Isis, who she remembered her husband Osiris by putting her son Heru on the throne. That's my position, to put Heru back on the throne, to get our houses back in order, to get our communities back in order. And the only way it's going to happen if our sisters got to step in line. Yes, we have to be in alignment, proper alignment, and let the true Herus, our true brothers who are Herus, the ones who are stepping up and doing what they need to do, let them do what they need to do, and we support that.